What is going on, you guys? My name is Josh. I'm here with my two best friends in the entire world, Joey Bada Bing 22 and Drew Profit Monsters. And you are listening to the 22nd ever episode of the Triple Thrift podcast. I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. We have, I think, a lot of stuff to cover this week. Drew, you posted on your Instagram earlier this week and asked your followers if they could if they had things they wanted us to talk about on the podcast, and we got a pretty good amount of responses from that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I actually just asked Drew right before we recorded. I was like, Drew, my wife asked me this week what your wife does, and I didn't know what to tell her. I don't think we've ever talked about that, and we're not true best friends unless we know what each other's spouses do. So take it away.
So what's going on, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Thanks for tuning into another episode. Also, it's a special episode because it's the 22nd episode, and that's Joey's favorite number. So
Let's go.
we gotta let him. We gotta let him say something about that. But yeah, so my wife is a full-time stay-at-home mom. We have two kids, Asher and Ezekiel. If you haven't seen them, my most recent video, "What Sold at Disney," has both of them in it, and you can see that. But my wife is an amazing woman, and yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom. And that's just where we're at right now. I do full-time reselling and the YouTube thing, and she takes care of the kids for the most part. But we're a team, so we do everything together. And she helps out here and there when I need help if I ask for it. Or when I was in South Carolina visiting you, Josh, she did my shipping for me, so she knows how to do stuff. But the season that we're in our lives, we've just decided I'm going to take care of the business. I'm going to provide for the family, and she's just going to take care of the kids. And we don't really want to put them in daycare, and we don't have a lot of family or anything like that can watch them. A lot of people have moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas that can watch their kids, and we don't really have that with our families. So, I'm just thankful for her, and yeah, she's an amazing person. So, Joey, how are you?
That's awesome, man.
22nd episode.
Yeah, man, doing great. Just hustling and bustling out here, just working a lot, and just kind of really just going through the motions right now. I just sold a Dutch oven that I picked up for $2 at a Goodwill, probably last year, probably about 8-9 months ago. It just sold. Someone sent me an offer for $40. I had it up for $80, and we countered offered back and forth. And she was like, "Make sure you just package it up really nice." And I don't think she is what are they called? The drop shippers, those crazy people out there. But she just said package it up nicely. I just really want an excellent condition Dutch oven, and I have a pretty good one. So shout out to, I don't know your name, but shout out to you for buying that for me for $60 plus shipping. So that was an awesome sale. And yeah, just been going to Goodwill on my lunch break every day. It's been awesome with my new route. I just love running in there and just doing my thing. And actually, the other day, my boss came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you were at a location for longer than 30 minutes." And I'm just like, me? So I guess I stayed over my 30 minutes on my lunch break 2 days in a row, which was weird because I don't think I did. But now I set an alarm on my phone so I don't. I have a 20-minute alarm that says, "All right, you got to stop thrifting, look everything up, and see what you got, and then go buy it." Because sometimes there's long lines, and I can't say, "Hey guys, I'm the mailman. I need to skip the line."
Yeah. Dude, that was when I was doing my lunch break thrift trips.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating thing because I would only have 20 minutes, and I'd get in there and find I remember this one time I found a Nakona baseball glove for $2, and it was gonna sell for 90, and I only had that, and there was 10 people in line and one cashier, and I had to leave in 8 minutes. I'm I can't. I'm not just gonna leave this here. What?
Yeah.
It was so stressful. This one time, I literally did not have time to wait in line, so I had the pair of shoes. I don't remember what they were, but they were valuable enough to bother with it. But I went over to the suitcase section and put them inside of the ugliest suitcase I could find, and then just left them there. And then came back after work when they were still open, and went back to the suitcase, and they were still there.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
That's what you can do.
I have an idea for you, Joey. So, first of all, you've been saying that you wanted to put out more YouTube videos. So you just need to put out a daily 15-minute thrift trip challenge video for yourself. And you keep your GoPro with you in your mail truck. And then as soon as you get to Goodwill, you strap it on, you put it on, and you're like, 15 minutes, start the countdown, and then you just go in. That way
Yeah.
you're never 30 minutes late, and you could, whether you find something or not, you make it like with epic music in the background, like dun 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 dun, like looking for stuff, and see if you can find something before the timer expires.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you don't. But at least you won't get caught slipping by the mailman. But you kind
Yeah.
of do want to get fired, so I think you're doing it on purpose.
I know. Like sometimes, like I think about it, I'm like, I don't really care.
You were saying that thing about drop shipping earlier. I've always wanted to see how long of a chain of drop shippers we could have. Like the next person that's a drop shipper wanting to buy from me, like I go to somebody else's store to find it and then drop ship from them. But then like some of them, like it would be complicated to figure out, but like just see how long we could keep the chain going. Like it goes through like 5 or 6 different eBay stores before it gets to the final person that actually bought it, you know?
So what do you mean?
I
Like,
don't. I don't think there would be enough profit for more than one or two drop shippers,
Well, not even
what
about
do you mean by
profit.
if
It's
that?
that's
just
what
like,
you mean.
so like if somebody orders
Sorry.
something from my store and it's like clearly a drop shipper, they're like, oh, please package as a gift, blah, blah, blah. And then instead of
Mm.
sending out mine, I just go to somebody else's store and buy it and put in the drop shipping information that the first guy gave me. And then maybe if they drop shipping something for me, I could maybe find it in one of your guys' store and tell you like, hey, I'm drop shipping this to that guy who's drop shipping it. And then you could go to somebody else's store and buy it from them and
I
see how long
see.
we can keep it
I
going.
see.
I'm
That's
sure there's a
funny.
world record out there somewhere.
We should do it for the Guinness World Record, Triple Thrift Podcast.
The
Longest
world
drop
record's
shipping chain.
probably 2. So
Probably because it gets incredibly complicated very fast.
So, all right. Well, like Josh was saying, I put on my Instagram story the other day, just topics that you guys would like to hear us discuss on this podcast. And so we obviously are thankful for everybody that listens and tunes in, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify, Apple, whatever. So we just wanted to go over some of these questions and answer them, and we'll see how many we get through. So this first one comes from Stephen C. Wright _ on Instagram. It says sourcing on eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. So I'm assuming that this question is referring to buying stuff online, basically online arbitrage, buying stuff online or through Facebook and then reselling it. Um, so for me, this is a pretty open-ended question, but I do source on Facebook Marketplace a ton. I don't do much on eBay or Mercari, but I know this one guy, Chris, probably not listening to this, but Retail Recon on Instagram. He is killing the game with Mercari flips. He sells shoes, and basically he'll like search misspelled words or like type in Nike Dunks where people don't know the model and they underprice their Dunks or something, and he'll buy Dunks for like $60 on Mercari and then flip them for like $250 back on Mercari. So I know it's possible. I just don't do it very much because I get consistent inventory, thrifting, flea markets, Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is hit or miss, though. I mean, you got to really respond to people within like the first 30 seconds of them posting if it's something popular, or you'll miss it. Joey?
So for me, actually lately, I've been like I wanted a pair of Hokas and a pair of On Clouds, and I bought a pair of On Clouds for me, like personal, and I have that like saved on my Macari. Like you could save, like I have vintage Goofy shirts that I save, and whenever one pops up, like I click on it. So there was these Hoka shoes, and they were my size, and they were up for $20. They were the Bondi sevens, and they were clean, and the guy had it up for $20, free shipping. I'm like, what? I totally missed out on it. And if I bought it, I probably could have sold it for 100 plus shipping. So if you have like saved searches on Mercari, I feel like Mercari is the best way to like save searches on there. And like I've been saving like Disney shirts, and there's this one that's up right now. It's an Aladdin one. It's a size medium, and they had it up for 300, but they just changed it to 400, and it's a grail. Like it's an all over print with like Aladdin on the front and like the sword guys on the back. But like it's a great way to like kind of source, but also find like cool shirts. Like I want to find a Goofy shirt all the time and buy it so I could wear it. But there could be ways to buy on Mercari, and it's very, very easy. Like you search it up and then you press like search this item or notify me when this item comes about, and you click on it, and there's just bless you. And there's a bunch of like saved searches, and I've been trying to find some hokas that you can just flip, like you said about those dunks. Some people don't know the price, they just list it, and it's like $20. I could have sold it for like 100. So watch out for that if you're trying to buy and sell on online.
I think what I agree with what Drew was saying. Like it's a good way to source if you're into that. But if you have good luck at flea markets and pawn shops and thrift stores locally, like that's one reason I don't do like liquidation or online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, because my thrift stores are so good. But like back in the pandemic, when a lot of people couldn't leave their houses, like online arbitrage was, I mean, people were making thousands of dollars with it. I just posted that video today. I found like a sealed portable CD player at Goodwill for like $8.94, and on eBay they were selling for like 25 to, like, there was a couple that sold for 25 plus shipping, and then one that sold for 47 plus shipping. But on Amazon they were selling for 130. So like you could literally just like set an eBay alert for that CD player, and anytime there
Mhm.
comes one, I mean, you could buy them for $25 plus shipping, because you could still flip them on Amazon. They had like a 45,000 rank, so they're going to sell within a week, and you're still profiting, $60 or so. So I know a lot of people that flip, sealed electronics from eBay to Amazon. But in terms of like shoes and clothing and things like that, I think Jordans are. It's possible if you know what you're doing. And I've seen Renzi a few times. They'll buy some stuff on Mercari to like flip on Poshmark or vice versa. Um, but again, it's just, I think that for me personally, the success rate of sourcing at a thrift store or yard sales is so much higher than like in like a time ratio. Like if you spend 4 hours at garage sales, you should, in theory, make way more money than you would spending 4 hours online arbitrage, in my opinion. I guess unless you're a professional online
Yeah.
arbitragist.
Well, for like, if you're just like, it's late at night and you can't go to a thrift store or a garage sale or flea market or whatever, that's what I do. Like, I'm late at night, I'm just laying in bed, like about to fall asleep, and I'll just be like, yo, let me look on Mercari or something and see if I can buy something, or
Yeah.
on Facebook, or and say, message them and say, hey, I'll come pick this up tomorrow morning, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
thing
just,
the thing to me that's the most frustrating with online arbitrage, and well, I'll say this first. The only person that I know that I've seen do it successfully, like flipping from reselling platform to reselling platform. I'm not talking about like buying from Foot Locker and having Jordan sent to you and then selling them on Amazon or eBay. I'm talking about straight reselling to reselling is Anfisa, Far North Thrift. I mean, during the pandemic, especially, I mean, she was in Alaska. She was buying stuff on Poshmark and flipping it on eBay, brands I've never even heard of. This brand called Dale of Norway. Now I know about it because of her. She was buying them for like 10, $20 on Poshmark and then selling for over 100 on eBay. And so like when you know
wow.
certain brands, that's kind of like what both of you guys were saying. Like Joey has Goofy shirts saved. Josh, you were talking about certain brands and products like the CD player. If you have certain things that you're like an expert in, you can definitely get snipes, people who do sports cards and Pokemon cards and things like that. I mean, if you're on there all the time, you can find someone selling a Charizard for, $400 less than what you could actually get for it because they need quick money. But anyway, the online arbitrage, the reason that I have a problem with it is because most of the time, the people that are offering what I would refer to as steal of a deal, like Bondi sevens for $20 free shipping. It's mostly because those type of people are the people who saw an ad on YouTube like, I made $800 on Mercari this week just selling stuff out of my closet. And then they sell it and they don't ever check their app. So it takes them 7 days to ship it. They finally get a notification to
Hmm.
ship it, and then they throw it in a trash bag with no protection, or anything. And it shows up damaged or something like that. And most of the people that are selling stuff cheap don't know what they have, so they don't understand even how to protect the item you're buying. For example, over the weekend, I took a risk and I bought this GameCube Mario Party 7 bundle on Facebook Marketplace. And it was a GameCube in the original box with Mario Party 7. Like the box was Mario Party 7, it wasn't just the game. It was like a special edition box. The lady had it for $125. I think I can flip it for $250, maybe more. Um, the description really wasn't great, and uh, I ordered it on Thursday, and I messaged the lady twice on Facebook Marketplace, and she hasn't even responded to me yet. If she's got my order or if she's
No.
going to ship it out. I mean, luckily there's purchase protection, but still, it's $125 of my money sitting in limbo because I don't know if this lady even knows that I purchased this item. She posted it on Facebook Marketplace, and now
Yeah.
it shows that I placed an order. And then on top of that, I sent her a message saying, please protect the box, put this GameCube and box inside another box. I mean, hopefully she doesn't just tape a label to the Mario Party box and then ship it to me. More than likely it'll
She's
get
definitely
stolen,
gonna tape a label to
you
that
know,
box.
more than likely it'll get stolen before it makes it to me. But even that, if it does make it to me, the label's going to be stuck to the box and then the box is going to be damaged. It's going to ruin the value. So those are the things that I'm leery about, especially with like video games and stuff that is high end. I guess if you're flipping shoes, you can't really get damaged shoes unless they're Jordans, with the box or something like that. But
Yeah.
um, I think it's just hard to do. Maybe a t-shirt, like Joey was saying, like you could flip t-shirts or clothing like Anfisa, and you don't have to worry about damage control. But I'm really nervous about this GameCube. I don't even know if I'm even going to get it. But if I get it, I really hope that she sees my message and she packs it well. So
I've
um,
always wondered about those like Facebook items that are clearly like not not real. Like PS5, you know, $10 ships for 350 or whatever. Like what happens if you actually buy it? Because Facebook isn't going to release it until it's marked as
Well,
delivered. And
Well,
then
what Facebook does is they have a protection for the buyer, so it takes 1 week. Because I put my store on vacation mode last when I went to Colorado, and they bought uh, it was a golf bag for me, and I didn't ship it on time, and it was 1 week. It was actually the golf caddy. Remember, Josh, I was telling you about that I bought for like $30 and I
oh
sold
yeah.
it. It was that, and I didn't have enough time. It was over a week of the span of how I was on vacation, but the 1 week prior, it actually gives the money back to the buyer. So I lost that on the sale, and I messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I was on vacation," and he was like, "Oh, no problem." He bought it again, and everything was okay. So you have 1 week, and then it like cancels it, kind of like eBay. Like they have their cancellation or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Hmm.
also, let me say this just to anybody who's listening, because I know a lot of people do it, and Joey and I both recently got scammed on items that we thought we could flip. Joey's was on Instagram and mine was on Facebook. Um, Now, unless you're, in great communication with this person, um, because a lot of people, I'm trying to be careful with what I say because I don't want to mislead anybody. A lot of people encourage, like, hey, if you see a Wii bundle for $50, send Venmo before you go pick it up and they'll hold it for you. And you have to be careful with that and make sure that you have looked at this person's Facebook profile, that they're a trusted seller, and all this kind of stuff. Because my example is I saw this guy selling like 5 Guitar Hero guitars, and there was 2 Explorers, one wireless PlayStation 4 guitar, I think, or PS3, and then a couple other guitars with dongles and stuff. He was asking like 200 for everything, and it was local in Miami. So I DM'd him and I was like, hey, I don't want to lowball you, but I'll be willing to pay for shipping if you would take 100. And basically what happened is he was like, because he had it listed free shipping or local pickup, and I was like, I'll pay you for shipping if you'll take 100. And he's like, no worries, man, I'll do it for 100 free shipping. It's all good. And but he didn't change the price on Facebook. He just said, send it to me Venmo and give me your address and I'll ship it out in the morning. Well, I sent him the $100 Venmo, and there's no purchase protection with Venmo, and he never shipped it out. He ghosted me. He deleted the listing. His profile's gone. You can't find him anywhere. And so I lost $100 because, you know, I took a chance on something that was probably too good to be true, or the kid just knew like, oh, hey, I can scam this guy because he's not going to pick it up locally. Uh,
Yeah.
and so, not that you can't Venmo somebody and then go pick it up, because Tim Osborne the Thrift and Hustlin' Hooks both do it all the time for sure. I've seen them both do it, and I've done it. Just be careful when you do it. I don't want people to, you know, get desperate for a deal, or there's fake Nintendo 64 cartridges out there. If you see an ad
Yeah.
that looks too good to be true, like someone selling Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64 for $10, it's $100 game, but the reproductions are only worth like $20 free shipping. So if you see someone selling one for
Yeah.
20, chances are it's a reproduction if you don't know your stuff, because most people know it's a valuable game. So anyway, all I'm saying is be careful with that. You can get people to hold items for you with Venmo, but you're better off sending PayPal goods and services where you can be protected. So just a little tip there.
For
But
sure.
was there anything else you guys wanted to say about that,
And
or do
then
you want to
how
go
Well,
to another question?
yeah, I
well,
was going to move to another question. We spent a lot of time on that one.
sorry.
We tend
No,
to
I
we
got
tend to
scammed
all.
too, guys.
Okay, so next question comes from ANC 053184. What do you think the next trend will be in regards to items to resale to resell? Right now, the only thing that I think is in the market that a lot of people don't know about, which I don't even know about, is NFTs. Um,
Hmm.
I think that NFTs are going to become kind of like cryptocurrencies. It's like nobody wants in the very beginning stages because it's so foreign, but then everybody 10 years from now is going to be like, I wish I would have bought NFTs 10 years ago when they were $20 a pack, or whatever. And I don't even remember what NFT stands for. Joey knows, but um, it's basically like
Non-fungible token.
non-fungible token. It's like digital products that they're not tangible, but they're actual products. Like Josh could create a Harry Tornado NFT and sell it, and people could own like an autographed Harry Tornado card, but it's not an actual physical card. It's a digital card. So anyway, I think it's still
It's a digital
pretty
picture. It's not a card. It's a digital picture. Like it's kind of like an art, basically.
I think the best like way to describe it is like a skin in a video game.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
gonna say.
people are like, Gary Vee is a big proponent of NFTs, and people are like, why would people buy this? He's like, do you have any idea how many millions of dollars Fortnite makes from selling skins in Fortnite? Like, you got kids and teenagers, grown adults spending, you know, $20 just so their online video game character looks like Michael Jackson or something. Like people pay for non-tangible items all the time. So I definitely do think NFTs have a future. I don't know what that future is. I mean, Gary Vee's a smart guy. He was right about sports cards when he was predicting the rise of those, the rise in value of those a couple years ago. So I would definitely just become educated. But I guess I'm talking to myself too because I don't know much about them.
Watch, guys. Tomorrow, Harry Tornado will have a NFT out for you guys, so I'll be buying it. And if anybody wants it, it's $1 million.
I did have a viewer
so
reach out one
so
time
to
and
finish.
sorry, just real quick. This viewer reached out one time. She's like, I have an idea for you. You should make like trading cards of resellers. Like each reseller has like their own trading cards. You can have like a 1 of 1, a 10 of 10 or whatever. Like in all the resellers, like Craigslist Hunter, Cincinnati Picker, Lonnie. I'm like, it's a good idea. I don't know like the logistics behind that, like creating the cards and like getting the pictures and stats and stuff, but it would be cool to have like limited edition cards. If I see like Tim Osborne to Thrift, I think he's going to have a bright future in YouTube, especially like after our collab. He's went from like 2,200 subs to like 5,400 subs. I think he's probably going to be a 100K channel one day. So like buying a Tim Osborne to Thrift card would be like an investment, especially if there's only like 5 of that one card. But then again, I don't know the logistics behind buying cards. But maybe NFTs is a way to get around that. Well, we wouldn't have to have physical cards, but like limited NFTs of resellers.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like a digital NFT of Joey just going, "Let's go," and it's
there,
like a 1 of 1 "Let's go" NFT of Joey.
well,
You
there,
know,
there is like you can buy like songs and stuff. Like you can make like a song and it's an NFT. Like it's really big in the music market right now as well. It's something that we're not. It's foreign to us, and it's something that I think normal people nowadays should really get into. Like even crypto. That's another question I think Drew had in his question thing. Crypto is the one. It's going to be our currency in the future. I know it. I'm invested in it. And
I will say, if you haven't invested in crypto by now is the perfect time to do
it
it, because
really is.
it is at a terrible, not an all-time low, but very, very. I think this the lowest has been this year
And I'm
in the
happy
last
because
like 6 months.
I'm happy because I'm buying. It's a perfect time to buy. So, make sure you do your research. I've been doing research for months now, like probably 5, 6 months. Just do your research. Don't be dumb, and buy the right stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like as far as other items, other than NFTs that someone might say would be trending, I think that, it's really hard to know what's trending or what's going to be the next thing that's trending. Um, because I feel like there's a buyer for everything out there. I mean, vintage Disney shirts are selling on Instagram auctions for $700 to $1,000 for certain graphics. You know, for all we know, the next shirt that might pop off is Blues Clues t-shirts. I've seen like the movie Avatar, with the like the blue characters and stuff, on the Planet of Pandora or whatever, that movie. Those shirts are starting to pop off right now. Like a couple people posted them and said this is a future Grail, and now a lot of people on Instagram are like seeing Avatar shirts, like the big face Avatar shirts, as like a $1,000 t-shirt, and it's like the movie came out in, I don't know, 2008. So it's not even really anywhere near vintage, in my opinion. But certain people hype things up. I mean, Travis Scott wore the center swoosh hoodies, the Nike center swoosh hoodies, and that went from like a $40 hoodie to like a $200 hoodie if it's the same color
Yeah,
that he wore. So I think the best way to figure out what's trending is to stay in tune with like pop culture, I guess. That's probably the easiest thing, is because if you see, you know, Miley Cyrus wearing Doc Martens, it's going to make Doc Martens go up, or
yeah.
whoever. I don't know who's popular these days because I don't really keep up with that stuff because I'm not chasing trending items. But I know that's how a lot of Amazon people make money, is they buy items that are kind of trending in society, like, Squishmallows. They'll go to Walmart and buy out all the Squishmallows and then sell them on Amazon. And
Yeah.
if you can catch those waves before, other people catch on, that's why people like Resells and all these Amazon sellers don't put out those videos until months after they've made all their money, because they don't want to give away their secrets or they wouldn't be making all that money,
Yeah. I
unless
don't
you're in
blame
a
them.
lead generation group. But
You could even do like I remember when the Queen's Gambit came out on Netflix, like the Netflix series about the chess playing girl or whatever.
mhm.
It was fictional, but that was so popular on Netflix that it increased the value of chess sets on eBay. Like chess sets that were like $15 were suddenly like 40 to 50.
Yeah.
It was very short. It was maybe like a month and a half, and now it's over, obviously. But you just have to watch out for stuff like that.
TV shows and movies are one of the things, now that you mention that, are definitely ways to follow trends. I tried drop shipping years ago, with a friend of mine who was like good at building websites, and I was good at like finding products. And we found some Stranger Things products, online real cheap when Stranger Things first came out. And we did a drop shipping website and made quite a decent amount of sales from it. But we were more on the tail end of it, because people were
Mhm.
doing it like when the trailer came out, and we did it like after season one was dropped and people were binge watching it. So we kind of made it to the tail end of the drop shipping. But like Stranger Things season three, I think is about to come out again this summer or something like that, or season four. I don't know. Maybe that stuff is
4.
going to get, yeah, maybe that stuff is going to get popular again. Um, shows like that have like cult followings and stuff. I think those little keychains and little trinkets, where it's not like you have to sell $100 items, but if you can sell 108, 11 keychains, 11 is the girl from Stranger Things, you can sell 100 of those for $8. You just made $800 from selling one item by just kept jumping onto a trend. So, um, toilet paper when COVID
The
started.
problem with trends is that, yeah, the problem with trends is that it's hard to identify a trend, and it's hard to capitalize quickly enough. Like, I mean, if we could go back and order a bunch of, I don't know, like the sanitizer guy that
Yep.
was in like the Wall Street Journal, he was like, oh, I guess everybody's gonna I mean, he eventually like had to get rid of his stock and like donate, but he made thousands and thousands of dollars flipping hand sanitizer before everybody got pissed off at him. But I mean, he basically identified a trend. You know, some people could say that's not a trend, that's exploitation, but that's just one example I can think of right now. But
Yeah.
so I don't think identifying trends and trying to monetize them is a way to successfully run a business consistently. I think it's just sometimes you might get lucky on something. You know, ideally, something you've had sitting in your death pile for 2 years randomly gets popular, and then you can list it and sell it. But
Yep. I
um,
think that's really the best answer is getting lucky, to be honest. You just never know when something's going to pop off or not. So, um, all right, next question. I had multiple people ask this question in different ways. So I don't know if we want to camp on this one for a while, or we'll see where it goes. But multiple people asked basically biggest reselling mistakes or things you feel like biggest hurdles, biggest struggles when you first started, and what you're doing right now, or things that you want to start doing now. So it's kind of a pretty deep question. I would say my biggest mistake that I've ever made was selling those 1985 Air Jordan 1s that I got at the bins. And if you
mhm.
haven't seen that video, it's on my YouTube channel. If you go and you search my YouTube channel, it's the first video that pops up, just because I thought it was a really cool video. Um, but basically, I found these original Chicago Bulls colorway 1985 Air Jordan 1, shoes. They were in really good condition for finding them at the bins. I basically paid $1.98 for them based on the weight at the bins. I took pictures of them and listed them on eBay for 900, and within 10 minutes of listing them, I had a $500 offer, and I waited about 30 minutes before accepting the offer, and then I just decided, you know what? I can't turn down $500. And at the time, I didn't know that the shoes were more of a thing than what they really were. I just thought they were rare shoes. But I didn't realize, like, this was before The Last Dance came out. This was before, like, you know, a lot of stuff. But to a sneakerhead, I mean, I found the grail of grails. And but my biggest regret about it is I made the video or I accepted the offer on eBay for 500 with the intention of making a YouTube video that would blow up my channel, because I thought nobody finds these shoes at the bins. This is going to go viral on YouTube. It's going to help my channel grow. Taking less than what I want for the shoes on eBay is worth it if it gets me subscribers, and then I can start building my content, around this new following. And it didn't work. It flopped. And so that's probably my biggest regret is selling those shoes. I mean, looking back, I'm not complaining about $500, but if you go look at the comment section,
Yeah.
90% of them are people trolling me going, bruh, you could have sold these for 15K. Bruh, I can't believe you sold these. Bruh, these would have never left my closet. Bruh, you're an idiot. So, um, I think that I've been learning pretty well from being a reseller. I don't really have any like mistakes that I regret, because it's all a learning process to me. And I love learning and I love growing. So other than the shoes, I really don't think there's anything I think of, like, I can't really think of any bad buys or anything like that. I just think, man, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
sold those Jordans. I'd probably have a more viral video today if I would have kept them.
Joey?
You guys know my mistake, guys. Shape ups. Don't ever buy shape ups. Um, I mean, I really don't have any kind of mistakes. I'm really not new, but I'm still newly into it, probably about a year. But really, is just looking up comps. I preach that a lot, and I preach that to everybody that I come in contact with that's new to eBay, because they think, oh, this Logitech HD 1080 camera will sell for $200 retail, but it won't if it's used, and people don't understand that. So always looking up comps, and like kind of like what Drew said, he didn't really look up the comps. He didn't really know. He's new. He had no idea. He just thought they were good shoes. He saw them online for a certain price and he listed them for a certain price, and that's how it goes. So always look up comps and never buy shape ups.
Well, I
There
knew
you
I
go.
knew the comps on the Jordans because I looked them up, and at the time they were selling for between like 600 to 1100 based on condition. And that video was over a year and a half ago at this point. I had only been reselling for like, I think 7 or 8 months. So I sold them lower than what the comps were, but Joey's 100% right. If you're not looking up comps, you will make tons of mistakes. Don't just buy things and be like, oh, this looks like a cool item. It doesn't mean it's going to sell for a lot of money.
Yeah. I think the only time you can do that is if you have a social media following. Like I find stuff occasionally that like this like plush animals that I buy and like that John Deere tractor lamp, like a lot of that stuff I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." Like if I think it's cool, probably one of my viewers will think it's cool. And most of the time people do buy it. Like the John Deere, I think the John Deere lamp sold to a viewer. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, definitely if you don't have a following and you just want to like sell on eBay as a pure reseller with no social media backing, you definitely have to look up comps for sure.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, one other mistake, which I wouldn't call it a mistake, I would just think that it's something that if you're a social media influencer or you have a bigger following on YouTube or Instagram or any other platform, if you're a reseller and you find something that is profitable that you can resell over and over again, I recommend like you making some of your money first before posting it. Because I made that mistake a couple
Or
times where
never
like,
post it.
what?
I said, or never post it. If you got a
Yeah.
good replenishable that you can consistently source and sell, I would never share that with anybody.
Yeah. I don't think that you're being greedy. I think that you're being a smart business person. And, again, that's why Reezy, when he made that video about like the Home Depot heater arbitrage, he bought those like heater lamps and he was selling them on
Yeah.
Amazon. That video didn't come out till 4 or 5 months after he did it because of, he wanted to control the market because he found something that he could make money on. And I've done it a couple times. One time was, which I don't really care about, but the point of the post was just to try to engage with my following and get people to understand like, hey, you can make money anywhere. I was grocery shopping and I saw this new flavor of Mountain Dew, the Mountain Dew Sergeant Melon or whatever it's called, and I scanned one and they were selling for like $20 a bottle, and they were like, $1.98 or $3.98 for a 6-pack. So I went to Walmart and I bought out all the melon Mountain Dews and I started selling them, and then I made a post about it and I was like, this post, I didn't think in my head like, oh, everybody's going to go to Walmart and buy this Mountain Dew. I thought this is going to spark interest for people to start thinking about how they can make money while they're grocery shopping or they're out and about, they're at the mall or whatever. And what happened was everybody started tagging me on Instagram with the Mountain Dews that they were finding at Walmart. And then the market got flooded and I got stuck with a bunch of Mountain Dew. But luckily I made my money back.
You sold like two of them though, didn't you?
I sold quite a few of them.
You
Yeah.
sold two of them?
I sold more than that, but I sold two of them like right off the bat for like $20 each. But I sold a couple.
Nice.
I sold one pack of the 6-packs, I think. But because there were no other 6-packs on eBay, I listed mine high, and then I didn't pay attention to everybody else buying them, and the market tanked. So then I was the highest listed because everybody started
Yeah.
listing them lower. So if you find something like that, don't feel like you have to share it on social media to gain followers, because your bank account is more important than followers who are potentially just going to tank your market and not pay you for your ideas. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So
As far as mistakes on my, let me jump in here 1 second and just talk about this. I'd say I get asked pretty frequently like what my biggest mistakes are, and honestly, I don't really have any things that I really regret. I mean, I did stupid stuff when I first started, but that was just from a lack of experience. I've chosen to run my reselling business in a very like strategic and cautious way. So like I never really spent. I mean, I bought a couple things that like weren't good flips, here and there, but I would never go like spend $5,000 on a 18 wheeler full of liquidation unmanifested pallets. Like that's a huge risk. Like that could easily be your biggest risk ever if you want to do that when in one of your first flips on a reselling business. So I don't think I've made many mistakes that are memorable because I've run my business so cautiously. So that would be my advice. Like if you want to start a reselling business, start small, start slow. Don't get into the big liquidation or pallets or any of that stuff. Like especially if you're new, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get excited and they make a couple sales and they immediately want to grow. I'm like, just slow down, take it easy. Don't do anything that you're going to regret later on. And I didn't. And that's why I have this answer to this question right now.
Yeah, 100%. Don't see videos like, and not that there's anything wrong with them, but like What the Hales finds a bag of gold, solid gold in a storage unit, and then someone else, or a dead body, you know, or someone else like, oh, I'm gonna go start buying storage units, and they don't have a truck, they don't have a trailer, you know, they don't have any way to empty
And
it,
they got
and
48 hours to clean out the unit.
Yep. So, you know, have a plan. Like Josh said, start small, start with things you know, start with stuff you're comfortable with, and then build your business. Okay, next question. This one's kind of interesting. Flipping a dollar on Instagram said childhood celebrity crushes. So I really.
Joey, take it away.
I love Ariana Grande. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's always just been my thing. And right now I really like Dua Lipa. She's really cool. I like her.
Who?
She's cool. Dua Lipa. She's like a pop singer. I just love pop
I don't even
music.
know who that is. I feel like an old man right now.
It's okay. I don't know who it is either.
People will know in the chat, right, guys? I mean, come on. Or not the chat. In the listening and the ears.
In the ears, they'll know. I feel like most people aren't going to know who that is. If me and Drew don't know who that is.
All right, guys, listen. Comment down below if you're on YouTube. If you know Dua Lipa, let us know in the comment section.
Duolingo, like the app for Spanish?
It's Dua, D-U-A, and then Lipa, L-I-P-A. Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa and the baby. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know the baby. I know him. It was like middle school. Like I didn't really have a crush when I was a child, but middle school I had a huge crush on Ashley Simpson. Like it was
really.
I don't know why, dude. I would go get like those teen magazines that had all the young celebrities in them, and I was just like anyone that had Ashley Simpson on the cover or like inside, I was buying it. Like,
would you like circle it, put a heart next to it, kissy face?
Josh and Ashley forever. But then she got caught up in the lip syncing scam, and I lost all respect for her. We broke up in my mind.
I crossed her out.
So I never really had any like girl posters hanging up in my bedroom or anything like that, or magazines, but like going way back when, I used to have a crush on Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years.
Winnie Cooper.
That's a long time ago. Probably
how long?
Before you were, well, I don't know if it was before you were born, but it's a very, very old show. And I thought she was super cute, but I really don't remember much of my childhood.
Oh boy.
I have a really weird memory, so I probably had other childhood crushes. I probably had a crush on Britney Spears in the 90s, but I can't remember, you know, like if it was her or Jessica Simpson. Or...
Another one for me, you know the show Zoe 101? It's actually Britney Spears' sister. Dude, her too, yeah.
Who was the girl that was like her older sister that had like the long brown hair?
In
Britney
Zoe
Spears?
101?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like Zoe's sister. She was only in a couple episodes, but
I don't remember.
I don't know.
We'll have to.
And then there was Tori from Victorious.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't she in Zoe 101, and then she got her own show?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. And then iCarly, Sam and Carly, both of those, I'm just remembering all my childhood.
Drake and Josh.
Dude, those were
those. Big crush on Drake and Josh.
There's no way those were childhood crushes, though. I mean, iCarly, you weren't a kid. You were like 20
years old.
Well, we're just talking about something we love now.
Well, see, when I was like 17 or 18, Joey was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
All right, let it be known that Harry Tornado at age 21 had a crush on iCarly, age 13.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Miranda Cosgrove and Jeanette McCurdy are both like my age.
I'm
like,
sure they
probably are.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time, this is a little off topic, but someone told me that the girl who played Raven and That's So Raven, I
Hmm.
don't, isn't that her real name or something? I don't know.
I think so.
But she was supposed to be like, it was either middle school or early high school, like freshman, and she was actually like 18 years old, and she had to play like a 15-year-old girl or something. And that's a big difference for
Yeah.
teenage girls, you
It
know?
is.
That's
So,
nothing. Like if you watch any movie that has high schoolers in it, they're all like 30-year-old people. Like if think have you guys seen the remake of the movie Footloose? Like the
Yeah.
modern
Oh
remake?
yeah. Oh yeah.
The girl, like the quote hot girl in that movie, I guarantee you she's 35 years old and she's played out to be like an 11th grader
Yeah.
or something. I'm like, there's no way this girl is 17 or 18 years old. She's clearly 35.
Hmm.
so all right. Before we get talking about illegal childhood crushes any further, someone asked, how do you use your money earned from reselling, whether to buy more product or pay yourself? I think that's a pretty good question. I think it really depends on your lifestyle. You know, for me, I was investing pretty much all my money, all my profits back into my reselling business when I first started, and only using enough money from the profits to pay my bills.
Hmm.
And I think that's how everybody should start when they're full time if they don't have a safety net, or even if you do have a safety net, all of your profits for the most part should be going back into the business or investing, in some way, shape, or form. And then you should be only paying yourself to cover your bills. And that way, like, okay, I can make this work. And then from there, I think that you just have to determine your lifestyle. Like I was using reselling because I didn't have another job, but after paying my bills, then my next focus was paying my debts, you know, providing for my family, buying groceries, putting food on the table, paying our mortgage. And then the next thing is focusing on knocking out debt. So then I start using the other profits to pay off debt, but that's also because I live a pretty frugal lifestyle, which we've all talked about before. Um, I don't drive a fancy car. I drive a 2003 beat up Honda Civic, but it's got low miles on it and I love it. And I'm focused on paying my debts. I have a low mortgage. I don't have, a high cost of living, and so I'm able to, you know, not have to focus on financials as much because I guess you could say like I've just made smart decisions or I've been wise with my
Yeah.
money.
If you
Um,
don't have like a lot of bills every month, you don't have to worry about it. Like
right,
Haley and I don't really budget our money. We just don't spend a lot of it. Like if you
right,
have to spend 100% of your monthly income on bills, then you have to budget. You have to tell your money where to go. But right now, we're probably living on less than 10% of what we make. So we don't have to budget because we're so focused on making money that we don't
right,
worry about the little bit of time we're spending it. In
right.
the
And
same way, we're frugal. We don't have, I mean, we have nice cars, but
Not like me.
not like Joey over here.
I'm at the point now too where like I'm just really happy with my life. I'm comfortable with my with who I am. I don't need a fancy watch to impress anybody. I don't need the newest, $500 Jordans to wear on the street. Like that's just my personality. Is like I'm not a materialistic person. If you are a materialistic person, that can be really hard being a reseller and, wanting to use your profits to buy, to fill your Jordan collection or whatever. Like for those of you who
Yeah.
know now, I have a vintage Disney Tower of Terror t-shirt collection. And that's like the one thing that I guess you could say like I spend money on. Um, and most of the shirts in my collection have been like an average of between like $30 to $50 buy cost for a shirt. And that's a lot for me, and some of these shirts, I would say most of them average anywhere from like $80 to $150 in value. So, I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about, owning $1,000 t-shirts. I just like to collect them now because I'm in a place where I'm doing okay financially. I have money in my savings, I'm investing, and I have plenty of money if I ever needed it. And so now, like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say I deserve it. It's not like I'm buying a t-shirt instead of buying groceries for my family.
Right.
I have the extra
Yeah.
funds and I'm not going out and spending $200 on a Tower Terror t-shirt. I'm waiting for the right deal to come by. Um, And there's nothing wrong with having nice things, which we've talked about before as well. But if you're in a position where you're, like Josh said, 100% of your money needs to go to bills, then you really shouldn't be buying the next Travis Scott Jordans, you know? So once you get
Yeah.
to a place where, like Joey,
Joey?
where Cardano pays $3.4 million and Joey can, buy us all Teslas, then go buy a Tesla.
Yeah, like for me, guys, like I have a total different lifestyle than them because I have a full time job. So like kind of like eBay is kind of like my, I guess, fun money, I guess, for now. And eventually, you guys know that I want to go full time. I just right now is just I my bills go to all the money I make from the post office goes to my bills. Not all of it, but most of it. And my eBay money is my fun money. Like I can go out to dinner, have fun. I say sometimes like pay my car. I want to pay my car off. Like that's my next thing. I'm almost there, and yeah, I mean,
It's like guilt-free money. It's like
yeah,
guilt-free money.
yeah. It's more of like if I want to take a random trip somewhere, or come see you guys, or come go do anything, go to Disney. I mean, I can do it. So I kind of
Yeah.
live like not the same lifestyle as you guys, but not. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but I am younger than you guys too. So I'm 24. You guys are 30 and 31. I think we talked about that in the last episode or something like that. But I also have to think like I still have my house and my car, and you guys already basically have it almost paid off. So I'm proud of you guys for that. And if anybody else and that's listening, make sure you just pay off all your debt. I mean, that's the main focus is to pay off your debt and live your life like hustling hooks. They have a beautiful
I think
story.
I think our generation now is like becoming wise. Like it's cool now to be debt free. It's cool
Yeah,
to not smoke cigarettes. Like all the dumb stuff that our parents did.
yeah,
It was like clearly dumb at the time. It's just nobody realized it. I think our generation, millennials and Gen X or whatever is after that. Um, like there's a lot of studies that show that like we save way more money than typical generations and more than they expected. And I think we're just smarter than people give us credit for. Um,
I
for
think the
me,
term
go ahead.
I was going to say I think the term side hustle has really become a trend now
Yeah,
where like you work your job and then you have a side hustle, and to be able to have that extra money, almost like Joey, to have a side hustle like selling on eBay and then use that money to go to Disney and not have to worry about like, because most people who work full-time jobs on salary at least or hourly know how much money they're going to make. If you work a 40-hour a week job and you're a 9 to 5 and you make $15 an hour, you know how much money you're going to get in your paycheck every week. So you know how much money you need to pay your bills. Now, if that's anyway, the point is that, the side hustle thing has just become really popular, and it's led to people making more money, spend or saving money, and being more wise with it and paying off debt instead of, trying to have the nice thing or trying to keep up with the Joneses, as the old saying goes.
yeah.
Less and less people, myself included,
So
I could care less what anybody thinks about me.
yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. I mean, it's people are so busy worrying about themselves that they don't care about you. They don't.
yeah.
I don't care about what shirt you have on. I'm worried about my shirt, and I'm worried if you're going to see the ketchup stain on it. Everybody is more selfish than you think. So just live your life. Dave Ramsey has a budget for like because a common question he gets on his show is like, oh, I'm a salesman and I don't know how much money I'm going to make. How can I possibly budget? And in that situation, which is what most resellers are in, you basically make a list of all of your expenses in life and like most important to least important. So most important, it's been a while since I looked at this, but it's like food comes first. He's like, obviously that's the most important thing. So you like the first dollar of income goes to food and shelter and clothing. And once those are taken care of, then you can move on to like less essential things. For me personally, I think if you're a reseller that wants to continue to make money, you have to have at least, I would say, $500 set aside at all times in cash, ready to buy stuff. If you're going to yard sales or a big thrifting day or something, you could easily go through $500 if you find it. Like the worst thing that could possibly happen is you go to a yard sale with $100 in your pocket and you find the video game haul of a lifetime. Like $1,000 for like 50 grand worth of stuff, and you don't have the cash for it. And you're like, oh, can you hold it for me while I go to the bank and try to get a loan, and they're like, no, because another reseller is going to be there in 30 seconds to scoop it up,
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's really important to have at least $500 set aside for purchases. I personally, I usually have like at least 2 grand, not in cash, but like I keep 2 grand in that account at least just for purchases. Um, and then after that, once you have that, then you just go down the list, like credit cards or getting out of debt, whatever's important to you. And then the recreational stuff, entertainment stuff is obviously at the bottom of the list. So as you make more money, then you could go further down on that list. I'm at a point now in our life, we've been super blessed, so we can hit the food and shelter and clothing and all that stuff. And we should make the last payment on our student loans this week. We'll be completely debt free this week, except for the mortgage.
Nice.
It's
So
amazing. Congratulations.
thanks, man. It's been a long journey, but yeah, that's just going down the list of what's most important to you. But I do think you should have at least $500 set aside for purchases, because if you spend all your money, I mean, to make money reselling, you got to buy stuff. You can't just like, I think a lot of people buy like 20 things and then list them and then stop, and they wonder why they haven't made sales. I'm like, you got to keep going.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Well, I think we have time for maybe one more kind of question here, and this one's pretty open-ended, so we'll just discuss it until I guess we feel like we want to be done. And Josh, you're probably going to have the best answer for this, but everybody wants to know how to balance eBay and YouTube and how to scale a YouTube channel. And I'm sure that's probably one of your most DM'd questions that people ask you, is like, how do you start or how do you grow? For me, I think the answer is just consistency. I know that I have times where I'm very inconsistent and it kills my views. Like, I've been making YouTube videos for about the same time as Josh, maybe a little bit less, like a couple months less, and I'm at 8,500 subscribers. I'm not in a competition with anybody by any means, but there were times where I would only put out one video every 2 weeks, or something, because I was just so focused on building my business. And I just know from an outsider looking in, like, Josh was so consistent with his content throughout the last 2 years. You can go back and you can see there was never like a week of YouTube that he missed, and he focused a lot on, upping his quality, his production. I mean, still to this day, I put out videos that I record on my phone, and I know that that doesn't help me. And everybody, including Josh and Joey, both say, Drew, bring your GoPro wherever you go, and sometimes I forget. So, um, I'm just more, making YouTube for fun and, for the community of being part of the reselling community, because I don't make videos at this point for money because I'm not making enough. I mean, my last YouTube check was like $78, for all the effort that I'm putting into making videos and recording and editing and clipping and, uploading and doing premieres and all this kind of stuff. For $78, I only have to list one item extra to make $78. So, but I enjoy being part of the
Yeah,
community. So I think consistency is probably where I failed the most, as far as like, that's the best thing you can do, is just start putting out content and just start with what you have and then be consistent and keep putting it out. I mean, Justin, the flipping accountant, is a great example. He started putting out retail arbitrage videos, Walmart clearance stuff, and he's been extremely consistent, so shout out to Justin, and his channel's shown it. He went from having, I mean, I think in the last 6 months, Justin just hit like 5K subs or something like that. So, I mean, he's proof of, if
yeah,
you make consistent videos with good content, you can scale a YouTube channel relatively easily.
for sure. Joey, what do you think?
So for me, it's really difficult to balance, making videos and having a family and seeing your friends and working for 45 to 50 hours a week. It's very hard to balance, and I try to do the very best I can. I try to do all those things in one, and it's very difficult. There's times where I don't know how to make time, but I either stay up later or do what I have to do in order to make things work. And that's what I do. And I try, but lately I haven't been, like the last 3 weeks, maybe even a month, I haven't even put out a video. And I'm sorry for all you guys that are waiting for a video. It's just, I've been going through some stuff, and, we'll get taken care of, but that's life, and you have to take care of it. So So yeah,
Yeah.
balance it, baby.
I think I mean it's definitely a lot of work. Starting a YouTube channel from scratch is probably one of the most difficult things to do in life. I think, especially nowadays, that there's so much. I mean, even the last 2 years, year and a half, there's been so many more new channels come on to the market of YouTube that even just in the reseller niche, that it's even harder to stand out now than it was before. And it takes so much work up front with. I mean, most people are probably gonna have to make 50 to 100 videos before they get to 1,000 subscribers. So like having the ability to have that much passion and drive to do that much work for no money, no views, essentially, and no reward for that. Just the only thing that keeping you going is like the dream of the future.
Right.
Hmm.
That's tough. It's very, very tough. That's why hats off to those people that have YouTube channels that are 4 or 5 years old that have like 800 subscribers that are still making videos. Because I'm like, man, I don't know what's keeping you going, but I applaud your tenacity. Um, as far as balance, for me, it's a business. I mean, you can start a YouTube channel for recreation if you want, but my YouTube channel is part of my business. So I try to divide my time into what makes the most sense and honestly most profit. So right now, I'm usually spending like 25 to 30 hours a week on YouTube and maybe like 20 to 25 hours a week on reselling. That may change in the future. A couple things are moving around, but that's what I've been doing for the last year or so, and it's worked out for me. I mean, if you're, Drew, obviously it makes more money for Drew to just list stuff. Like if it takes you 5 hours to make a YouTube video, I mean, you can do it if you enjoy it, but from a business standpoint, it would make more sense for you to clean shoes and list rock band stuff on Mercari.
Right.
Again, for the monetary standpoint, you can do it if you have the passion and you want to be a part of the community and all that stuff. But um, just make sure that you're not. I don't know. I don't want people to be spinning their wheels. I mean, if you enjoy it, more power to you. But I've
Yeah,
seen
I
people
would
that have
say
been.
I was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say don't start making YouTube just because you want money. Like,
Yeah,
you know, that
it's
that
highly
is
highly unlikely that you will ever make serious money. Most people on YouTube.
yeah, it's just that when you have that mentality, like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel because I see how much money Harry Tornado's making, so I want to make money like Harry Tornado or whatever. You're already in it for the wrong reasons. And
Yeah,
from a business standpoint, it takes a long time to build that. Building a YouTube channel, literally, like Josh said, is a business. It takes time to grow. Just like I had a scooter and motorcycle shop, for 5 years, and it took time to grow to get my name out in the community, in the city, to get other businesses and partners to trust me, distributors to trust me with their products and things like that. It takes time. Like, so, if you're not willing to put in the time and make the sacrifices of you could be listing on eBay instead of editing a video, then you have to weigh those things for yourself. But chasing money usually doesn't work out in any, at least in my opinion, from starting from scratch, whether it's a business, like a brick and mortar store, a YouTube channel, an Instagram page, anything. Like, I'm making consistent money on Instagram now just from posting like my shares. I make more money on Instagram than I do on YouTube. I should say it like that. So I post stuff that I find because I like to share my day-to-day operations of my business on my Instagram story more than I do YouTube, because it's easier for me to take a picture and be like, found this at the thrift store, and then people DM me and go, size, price, how much, and I
yeah,
sell a lot of stuff on Instagram. I'm not making thousands and thousands, but I'm making a lot of money. um, and, for example, one of my most recent posts on Instagram was these Air Jordan 1 lows that I found, and I actually found them at a pawn shop, and I paid up for them. But I made the post just showing people like what I found, and I sold 6 out of the 8 pairs of Jordans within 6 hours of making that post. And I didn't
yeah,
post them on Instagram with the intention to sell because they're high dollar shoes. I posted them, and even if you look at the bottom of the post, it says, "Can't wait to list these babies." Because I was excited to make profit, and I sold almost all of them on Instagram.
yeah,
And so I'm enjoying Instagram more than I am YouTube because of the way I engage with people individually. And I'm not good at editing, so I don't have to worry about editing anything. And so for me, like, I've been building my Instagram page more than I've been working on my YouTube channel.
yeah.
and it's paying off for me, so you got to just follow, originally I wasn't, I started my Instagram page. I have more followers on Instagram than I do on YouTube, you know, so I didn't originally start Instagram with the intention of making sales. I started Instagram with the intention of showing my finds. And
Yeah.
now I guess you could say I'm somewhat of a micro influencer or something. And people actually get benefit from the things that I share. And they say, hey, I sold a Rock Band set for $200 today. I would never picked it up if it wasn't for you. So that's really cool. That means a lot to me that I'm helping people in that way. So
All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I forgot that we had like the first bit that add on to this, so we're well over an hour now. But thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I thought it was interesting that we got like the audience questions. I like that. We'll have to keep doing that in the future. But shout out Joey Bada Bing 22. Shout out Drew Profit Monsters. Love you guys so much. Love you guys listening, watching on YouTube, watching the blank screen on YouTube. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
See ya.